This is Dave.
Hey.
That's Elric.
Hey.
We're here to talk to Dave.
Yeah.
We're sitting on either side of him because we're going to interrogate him about his life. No, because so Dave has drummed in a few bands, and he's going to tell us all about his musical journey. So when you was 3 years old, banging on biscuit tin lids, is that how it started?
Probably. I mean, I think it started when I was in school, and then heard drums being played down the corridor. You know, as a kind of like reclusive guy, you know, just walking around by myself or whatever. Heard a guy playing drums, so I went into the music room and had a go and started from there, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a certain mentality, because always people talk about a certain mentality of drummers. Did you have that certain mentality?
Nutty mentality.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying what people say. You probably know better than I do what people say about drummers. Is there any truth to those rumours?
Actually, I think I was okay. I think when I was in Virus, that there were a few moments. I had a scar on my back for a while just from falling off the seat in this pub in Streatham that we used to play at.
Yeah.
And, missed my seat and went straight back on a radiator.
Ouch.
But in terms of being a bit of a
nut job.
Bit of a nut job, I think I'm going to disappoint you there. I think
You're a normal drummer.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet anyway?
A gig, probably. Probably from Stu, I'm not sure, or Ross maybe, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, could have been.
No,
yeah.
I don't know, because you were Tiberius was the band. Was that your first band, Tiberius?
Tiberium, yeah.
Tiberium.
Yeah. I was in a band in school that did like one song, but I mean it wasn't a metal band or anything.
Yeah.
But they were called Criminal Damage.
Right. That sounds pretty metal.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of tragic though. But that was my first experience of like recording in a studio, so I was like 12 then, 11 or 12.
Oh, you actually recorded, properly recorded?
Yeah. One of the guys, his dad had a...
Did you go to a posh school?
No,
it was actually...
wasn't. Well, it was in Ilford.
So one of the guys' dads fucking paid for it, wasn't it?
No, he just had it was his hobby to... He had a spare room in his house, it was his hobby, and had a studio in his back room.
Okay.
Like this, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not too much bigger than this space, so it was a bit cramped, but yeah. So yeah, that was before.
So what was it called? Was it a single?
Yeah, I don't even think it had a name. Actually, I don't even think it had a singer.
Okay.
It was just like an instrumental.
Okay. So have you got copies of it? Was it ripped onto vinyl or?
I did have one copy, and then when I moved recently, I found it and it had a massive rip, not even a scratch. It was actual rip through the CD, like some material of it.
So that's lost to time.
It's gone. It's gone forever.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the other guys in that band will have a copy.
What was Tiberium then?
Tiberium were a thrash band that we did a demo. We did a demo, but it was like basically then re-released as an EP. Right. And then loads of just like live recordings. But yeah, it was primarily sort of thrash.
Is that out there in the...
Yeah, I think probably MySpace. MySpace, there'll probably be something on there.
MySpace. You can't even listen to shit on MySpace anymore, can you? You go on there.
I can't, yeah? Oh,
no,
right.
you said you can download and play fucking music, but it never lets you do it. It never lets you do it. It's I don't know if my MySpace is even there still, but when it was good. Fucking, I still think it was better than Facebook, to be honest.
I think it was good for music.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
Stream shit and download shit on there, but
anyway.
So was Virus your next band then?
After Tiberium, Virus would have been Virus.
How did that come about?
Well, I can't remember where we were, but we were obviously at a pub somewhere.
Yeah.
And you were telling me about this band needing a new drummer.
Yeah.
And there we go. It was perfect. For
yeah.
That's the real down. That's where everything started going downhill.
I don't know if you remember. I don't know if it was the first time I met you. It might have been, but I always remember it because we were in the Crowbar. And I was sort of talking to you, I was talking about we just ended up talking about British thrash. I don't know how it come, and I was like, I really like the band Virus, not knowing you're in the band. And you're like, I'm the drummer in Virus. I'm like, what? Do you remember that at all? That was in the Crowbar. I always remember that. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
How did that happen? Because you was about 17 at the time, weren't you?
Yeah, I was 17. Yeah, I was 17. Yeah, it was a weird one. So obviously, Cope was always a little bit older than me.
Yeah, a little bit. He's a little bit older than me, I think.
Hi, Cope. Yeah. But that was interesting, and I met a whole range of different people in that band. But that was, I suppose, my first real experience of playing in a proper band.
Yeah.
You did them for a few
They
years.
were cool. I really I enjoyed Virus at that time when they got back together and were playing gigs. I thought it was awesome, actually.
What was because how many you appeared on one EP, 2 EPs?
We did just one EP, Right by Mutants.
Right by Mutants. That was a good track as well.
And we did a re-recording of what was it? Testify to Me or something from Force Recon. Which was, I think, probably better than the original. I think, in my opinion, but and then that was it, and then the rest of it was quite slow. But in terms of like playing shows and stuff, that was my first experience of playing big venues, like supporting Suicidal Tendencies at the Electric Ballroom, and
that's pretty cool.
Look, we did a thing up in Milton Keynes of all places with Lawnmower Death and Acid, and Hateful Acid Rain was comparing, and Metal Messiah was on the bill. Yeah. And I can't remember who else.
It was, I should know, because I was on the fucking bus. I come on the coach with you. You put a minibus on, didn't you?
I forgot about that,
yeah, Metal Messiah. Yeah, I think that was about it. I can't remember now.
No Death.
How many bands was he? They got four. What, 4 bands?
Yeah, I feel like we're missing one.
Yeah, possibly. Fuck it.
Is it?
Yeah. I remember I did my ribs in. For some reason, I thought I was fucking 10 years younger, and everyone did a fucking monkey pile on the fucking floor for some bizarre reason. I got a knee in the fucking ribs.
You forgot his age.
It was hurting me for about fucking a week after.
It's funny, we were talking about sort of metal clubs earlier, but I remember there was. Amazingly, I don't even remember, there was a thrash metal club for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, Virus played it.
And Virus played it. Yeah. I can't remember what the hell it was called.
Is it south of the border? Or?
No, it was like a thrashy name.
When was this?
This was it was in a pub near Old Street.
Oh.
And it was great. It only run for about 2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
and I went to the days when it was just like DJs.
There's a restaurant on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
that's right.
that.
A Mexican restaurant on the top. And Forrest played it, but they stopped it. And I remember talking to the guys. Why you stopped? I don't know. It's not really. Keep going. It's brilliant. A thrash metal club in London. It was awesome. But but it just never happened.
No.
But it weren't.
Well, you had Fresh Thursdays at the Unicorn.
Thanks to Steve Lofton.
Oh yeah. Still get that. You still get that.
He's in a band now, isn't he? Is he done in his band or?
He was in Seven Sisters.
Seven
He's been in
Sisters.
Seven Sisters since the beginning, but he's actually left.
Oh, has he left?
Yeah.
Right.
Seven Sisters have a new drummer now.
Okay.
Was he in the band when he played the crowbar as well?
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
Little tiny crowbar you played.
Yeah.
So let's go Virus. How long was you in Virus in the end? 2 years?
Fucking hell. Right, if I was 17, probably then Amulet started 2010. So 3 years. Probably 3 years.
And what did you finish because you started a new band, or what happened that you left Virus?
Well,
I remember what you said to me, but I'll leave it with you.
But I remember you more political. We might want to be more political.
Yeah.
Tell us your version.
Yeah.
I don't even thought about it for so fucking long, But at the same time, towards the end of Virus, I joined Dr. Death.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
That didn't last long, because they split up soon after, didn't they?
Yeah. And Jamie left, and the whole thing sort of went a bit downhill.
Because that was his band, wasn't it? More, it seemed to me that it was Jamie's band, Dr. Death.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I always thought of.
Yeah. Jamie was so much involved in all the thrash.
He was another fucking thrash blinking guru of the London scene, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He put loads of great gigs. I remember fucking FKU he put on, didn't he?
Really?
Yeah. No, I think that was at the Bar Monster. Yeah.
2005, 6,
Yeah.
And then after Dr. Death split up, I then, I don't know, I really can't remember. I was so young then still. I was like 19 or whatever.
Drinking too much.
Really?
Drinking too much.
That's in the years when the alcohol fell.
Time's flown then.
Yeah.
I think you had any gigs you did with Dr. Death, because I remember you played.
Not many.
Did you not do the gig that was supposed to have been 4?
Yeah.
But you couldn't get there because the Viking gods had made an Icelandic volcano blow up and it didn't allow him to get into the country. So
Yeah.
it's you and some weird progressive band, or Dr. Death rather, and some progressive kind of metal band.
Some other band,
I
yeah.
can't remember what they were called now.
I can't remember. But that's a shame because I mean I fucking love Thor, like.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I wish it had gone ahead because I at least said I'd seen him like, but
I've seen him a few times in Sweden and it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Doctor, I quite like Dr. Death as well. They were thinking weapons of mass distraction or whatever. Whatever the name it is.
Yeah.
It's a good track as well. I play it every again on my podcast. Like, it comes up as a randomizer or something like that. And they were good fucking songs. And Jamie used to fucking, when he was playing bass, he fucking really, like a bass player you like watching, because he really fucking put some like gusto into it.
With his big space boots.
Yeah. And fucking he looked like he was happy to fucking be thrashing out, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Smiling and banging his head and shit.
Yeah.
So you was in Dr. Death and Virus at the same time. So what happened for you to leave Virus?
I think it was just a conflict of interests with where I was going musically, like myself, and wanting to explore different things and getting into music that was like more raw, perhaps, more simplistic, and people I was hanging out with, and also in the band, like as much as I still talk with Coke and I like him, I think at some points there were potential conflict issues there as well at times, which I'm sure he'd admit, or not. But yeah, so then that was the end of it. I was just like, I need someone else, and then that was me.
I remember you were thinking it was like you were a bit frustrated with the way the band was going as well. Like I remember you sort of saying that you wanted to like sort of maybe more professional kind of like thing going on. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, that's quite
the
possible.
Case, but,
I can't even remember, man.
Yeah.
I can't even remember. I think all of that was just a build up to Amulet, really.
Yeah.
And
how did that come about? So that's the next band.
Amulet's very different band to what you were doing
Completely.
before. So
I kind of this is my take. This is my take on the scene, like the London scene. Like for a while, there was all these youngsters into thrash, right? And I remember going along. There was all these young uns into thrash. It was like, a little tear in his old thrasher's eyes. Oh, look at all these young thrashers. Oh man. But they kind of regressed and went into fucking new wave of British heavy metal.
Yeah.
Like, you had all these young bands playing new wave of British heavy metal, which is crazy.
Because me and Liam used to joke about it. So they're fucking these people are like regressing in their musical style, getting old. They've been fucking banging rocks together. It's like cavemen. They're going backwards and backwards in their fucking musical taste.
Well, there was that scene, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Like younger bands doing a new Wobham style of music.
I mean, at the time, Amulet were the only London-based band doing that. And the only other bands in the country that I can think of were Dark Forest, who had been doing it for quite a while, and Eliminator from sort of Manchester way. And so it was really like, how I remember it really was like those two and us. And there was another band, the guy just died recently.
Oh God.
But they'd been, I can't remember what they're bloody called. But they'd been going for a long, long time as well.
Did you join Amulet, or was it a form band?
Well, interestingly, Marek, who puts on the Live Evil Festival and had been in bands previous to Amulet, like in a band called Invasion, it went along the lines of something like, he contacted me thinking I was a guitar player or something like that, and I messaged him and he thought I was a guitar player. And he thought there was going to be like a little bit of rivalry because he knew I was looking for starting a heavy metal band, and he was also wanting to start a heavy metal band, and he was like, nope, not interested or whatever, because he thought I was playing guitar or whatever, and wanted to be like the only band in London doing it. That seems to stick out as something that happened. But then when he found out I was a drummer.
Drummers are fucking worth their weight in fucking platinum drummers, aren't they?
Fucking if you're certain bands.
Yeah.
We then met up and had a jam. So it was me, him, and Will, or Bill Dozer as he's known in the band. We all met up for a jam in Borough, and that was the beginning. That was the beginning of it. And back then.
Didn't you have Jamie and Darren Markham? Was it join them? Was that the band in the end?
Yeah. So for a while we didn't have a singer or a bass player, because at the time, even though Will was the bass player in the end, he was actually playing guitar. But he moved over to bass. We then got in. Dara actually came in after we did the demo, after the Cut the Crap demo. The demo featured a guy called Tony, or Tone Deaf, who I think only Marek knew, and he was like playing in the Sex Pistols or something to do with the Sex Pistols at the time.
Okay.
Or did something with the Sex Pistols, and he basically just made up all the solos on that demo and EP, like on the spot basically, and
so
it turned out fucking
Jamie was
brilliant.
on that demo, wasn't he?
Yeah, Jamie was on that demo.
Persuaded to come in and be singing instead of doing bass, because I'd never seen him sing before.
No.
When did he suddenly decide he was a singer?
Well, he used to do backing vocals sometimes in Dr. Death, but I mean that was mainly like shouting.
Yeah.
And I think we just all knew each other. I don't think Marek knew that I knew Jamie, or I never realised Jamie knew Marek or something like that. But I suppose both of them being promoters and having their own sort of labels and stuff, you know how it is. Everyone knows each other.
Yeah.
And he obviously just found out that Amulet were looking for a singer, or actually even at that time the band might have even been called HGV or something.
So the singer was the bass player in Dr. Death.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then that was it. Then we did the demo, and then we still didn't have a permanent guitar player, which is when we got Dara on board, but he's never been on any recording.
Right.
We did like a couple of demos with Dara.
Yeah.
But they've never been released, and
Right.
I don't know where they are now.
I remember seeing his last gig, because you were saying you were looking for someone who was more into that kind of thing. Dara was more of like a black metal kind of, death metal kind of guy. Wasn't
Yeah,
he?
I mean,
you were looking for someone who was more guitar orientated to the heavy metal sort of classic sound or something.
kind of, yeah. Like Dara's a fucking great player, but I think we were looking for something that was a bit more bluesy.
Yeah.
To match what we had on the Cut the Crap demo. Which is unfortunately why we had to depart on that. But yeah.
What albums did you do in the end yourself?
So after we did Cut the Crap EP, which got like reissued a couple of times on a couple of different labels, we then got signed to Century Media, and then we did.
That's a fucking
big
big label.
It's big.
Yeah, but it was actually a little bit of a downfall, because we
Yeah.
were kind of like small fish in a big pond. You know,
Right.
sometimes it might have been better
Yeah.
to be on a smaller label,
Right.
and you know.
Be
But,
more of a focus
yeah.
for a small label than
Yeah,
just
yeah.
another band on a big label.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And also because of the type of bands that are on Century Media as well, people I don't think always got the angle we were coming from back then, because obviously this was actually before like the big boom of you know the resurgence.
Yeah.
It was cool when seeing you back in that day, because like it was different. You hadn't heard bands like that, you know. So it was really cool to hear. Like I thought of it as like a sort of new wave, a new album or whatever, but. It was just cool hearing that sort of band, because you hadn't really heard that,
that's
that
cool.
style. So
Yeah.
it was like, I remember seeing it going, blimey, what's going on here? You know, it's different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super cool. And I also like the fact that we weren't sounding like Maiden, like we were sounding more like Witchfinder General, Quartz.
Yeah.
So more like the doomy side of the sort of new wave era.
So you was just on the first album, was you?
Yeah.
Them?
So that was called The First, yeah.
Oh, it's called The First, alright.
Yeah. And the last for me.
Yeah. So what happened there?
Are they still going?
Yeah, they're doing well, didn't they? I think they're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But then you've because around the time you had like you did support gigs with your birthday gig for Pagan Altar and stuff like that, didn't you? You put you on your own gigs and shit.
Yeah, So used to do like a birthday gig every year. I can't remember if we played every year, but yeah, it would be like Pagan Altar would played like 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then just like friends bands like Witch Hazel.
Didn't you do one at the Underworld, like Praying Mantis or something like that, or Leaf Hound or something like that? Wasn't it something to do with you, or was it just something to do on your birthday?
I think that might have just been coincidentally on my birthday.
Right.
Angel Witch, was it Angel Witch? No, I don't think it was Angel Witch.
I can't remember now. Angel Witch.
So many fucking gigs.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you at Bloodstock.
Might have been Prime Minister.
I remember seeing you at Bloodstock.
Oh yeah,
that
played at
was
Bloodstock.
pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. That was probably around 2014.
Not Praying Mantis.
Yeah.
Fucking who's that?
What was it? Yeah, I don't remember that.
Sure, Leaf
Desolation
Hound.
Angels.
No, I don't think it was that. Fuck it. Oh, I had a fucking thought in my head for a second, but it's just gone. It's just disappeared like a fucking, like
I don't know.
yeah, like a mote of dust. It's just fucking. So what happened with Amulet then? So you were like, because you had another band you was nearly joined for a while. Was it Monument or something like that?
Fucking hell yeah.
Was it Monument?
Yeah, Monument. Yeah, that didn't go anywhere at all.
But what happened then? Did they actually get big in the end, or they because you?
Is that the Iron Maiden sounding band?
Yeah.
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 I don't know. Like I had a couple of jams with the guy Peter, I think his name was, and there's been a few like lineup changes there.
Right. I thought you said they got signed or something, or they were getting a release or
something like that. I don't really know. Like that's all kind of like the metalwork scene. So I think one of the demos he sent me had like a Richie Faulkner solo done on it before he joined Priest. And so it was all like that world, you know. So I was never involved with anyone from like the sort of metalworks scene. And then when we decided that band wasn't going to work out with me on drums, I just never really spoke to them again. Really. I mean, that completely crossed my mind. I think we did a promo like photo or something at some point with the band. Yeah. And the funny story is, had I seen it? I think I had seen it. When they did get a new drummer in, they'd actually just photoshopped this other drummer's face onto my body.
No way, really? That's weird.
That is funny as fuck. Yeah, I'm not sure if I ever saw that, but someone told me. But yeah, funny as fuck. Yeah.
So what happened with Amulet then? You just life got in the way in the end, didn't it?
Yeah.
With the band.
Amulet was like the fucking best time I've ever had in a band. You know, I was with them for like a lot of years and since the beginning and saw the changes and
well, you played a few places, didn't you? You played a few like European festivals, didn't you?
Yeah, we went we played in Canada and we were going to play up the east coast of America, and something with visas made it not happen in the end, but we still had a good time with our friends in Nature who are from New York, going up and then travelling into Canada for like the Wings of Metal festival where we played Razor and who else? Yeah, other bands, Volcano maybe, and and then played all over Europe. Did like tours with like Antichrist and stuff. So been to loads of places in Europe and Scandinavia and loads of festivals like Musker Rock and stuff.
Yeah. So any interesting memories of life on the road? Any massively groupies? Tell us about the groupies. Like, you know,
just empty beer bottles really. And trying to get it in.
Yeah.
Fine.
But no, I mean, it was just all great fun, you know.
Yeah.
Never any chicks on the road.
No? Oh man.
No.
Is it all a bit of a myth?
I thought it was just because I was ugly.
You've got to be a big, vast band to get
Yeah.
that sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind.
But
Yeah, so what happened anyway? What happened?
So life just got in the way, like with, you know, as boring as it sounds, you know, like work basically just got in the way, and
The need to pay the rent is a fucking devilish need, isn't it?
And what I'd actually done was like where I work in a school, I'd quit my job working in the school and just did agency work, so it meant I could go and do tours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, it means I wouldn't get paid for it, but then I just wasn't making enough to live on happily and be able to support everything and then still pay for practices and things like that, and so I had to call it a day really.
Was that the only reason then? You wasn't getting disillusioned with the music or the band life or anything like that? It wasn't just the fact that you fucking need the fucking money to live on?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I always loved the older sound of the band, and I think I was maybe a little bit stuck in my ways of trying to keep it as super simple as possible, and where Jamie's vocal style was starting to come out of more of like the talky vocal that he had, that changed the style of the music, and some of that I still loved it, but some of it I was kind of like, I wish it was maybe still a bit more like Witchfinder General, a bit more like raw in that way. But what they're doing now with their new singer and stuff is fucking great.
So is it the second album they brought out? They're on the third album now.
Second album.
Okay. I don't know if I've got any of their stuff. I don't even know if I've got the first demo. I'm sure I must have. Was that digital only or?
No, it first came out on cassette when we did it as a demo tape, and it came with certain different colours.
I don't even know if I've got a cassette. That's fucking annoying. You thought you would have sorted a fucking friend out, mate. Come on, mate. I can't believe you never gave me a copy of that fucking demo. Jesus.
Yeah, so got that, and then
At the front door. You carry on talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it got reissued on 7-inch, and then again on 7-inch on a different label. Yeah. But, yeah, it was good times. There's nothing better than like just getting something on a recorded.
Yeah, that's pretty special.
Hard work paid off.
We have a parcel.
Package for fucking Carly again.
Always.
Do you record it?
I don't know.
Probably.
God knows.
So, what's going on in your life now, basically?
You're looking to get back into another band now, and you're thinking about it?
Yeah. So I just finished studying, and then I've got my drum kit back in the flat that I'm at now. I'm in the process of converting it into an electric kit so I can just like play it at home.
Okay.
But then means if I ever play live, I can just take the mesh pads off and then put the skins back on and still have the kit there to play. And then
That's
having
fucking
a
some
few jams.
technological
That's
shit, isn't
very
it?
technical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
So
quite
it's a
technical.
proper
So
drum
you-
kit, but you put fucking different skins on to
You
make
can
it.
put
yeah.
electric skins on.
Yeah, so you take the skin
Right.
off, put a mesh pad on,
Yeah.
and then you put a little trigger on the rim of the drum, and then that goes into a drum brain like an amp, and then that will just.
Does that mean you can
sound.
play
Well, you
practice
listen to a
quietly
headphone,
yeah.
along the
Exactly.
neighbours? sort of
Exactly.
thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
Why
it's
did
like
you get a
an electric-
robot to do it? There's actually a band, I fucking played
Yeah,
a
that's the
band.
thing, mate. What are they fucking call that German thing?
No, it was an American band as well, called something like Controlled by Robots or Subjugated by Robots. And there's one guy who's a singer, and there's a robot guitarist and a robot drummer. And he's, the story is that he's the slave to the robots.
Alright.
Yeah, it's crazy fucking
That's
concept.
new.
Yeah.
Is it like a compressor head or something?
No, this is
no.
different. This is
You know when I
underground.
say like every genre has been done, everything's been done, and then he comes out with something like that.
Robot
like, wow.
subjugation genre. Maybe you should go for that, the robot subjugation genre. Or, so what are you looking to do musically? With,
I'm pretty open-minded, so I'm having a jam with my friend Mika that I've known for a long time from Sivian and Craven Idol, Disfago, fucking so many bands.
that's mostly fucking black metal, though, isn't it? Mostly black metal. them kind of
Yeah,
bands.
yeah. But he sent me something recently which is more like along the heavy metal vein with sort of baffery sort of vibe to it.
Can you
Which
do
is
blast
pretty
beat?
good.
So you're a blast beat guy?
Which year?
Not really, a little bit, not too much.
So we're one road to Asabe, or are we talking about Odin's or whatever, Nordland, or what kind
Probably
of
like Asabe era.
Oh,
I think.
actually, the boring era.
But the production on those albums are really good.
If it ain't Blood, Fire, Death, you can fuck
That is-
off.
Yeah, pre that album
That
as
is
well.
fucking great album
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So what,
But production-wise, Baffle style
Yeah.
and vocally.
Because so keeping back again to Amulet, is it like what the two original members left now, or one original member left in the band? Like, there's one because Jamie moved to Finland or something, did he?
Yeah, he moved to Sweden.
Sweden.
He's living in the countryside in Sweden because he met a girl.
Right.
Yep, so he's in Sweden now. So really, technically, there's only one original member left, and that's Marek.
Right.
Because even though Nippy, the other guitar player after Dara, has been in the band for like years and years now,
Yeah.
I suppose he wasn't there right at the beginning. And then when Will left, because he's a tattoo artist and went to New York and stuff,
Right.
he was replaced by Sam from Deceptor.
Right. I know the name.
Yeah.
They're not like from North, aren't they, Deceptor?
No, from West London, I think.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah, or North London. Yeah, and then their new singer, Amulet's new singer, is from Italy, I think.
Okay.
Oh wow.
International.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he lives in London.
Right.
But obviously his style is very, very different to Jamie's style, so
Yeah. So like a progression for the band.
yeah.
I've not listened to fucking anything since the demo that you was on. I'm the Hangman. That's all I can remember.
Yeah. Do you know the history of that?
Oh yeah, wasn't it your fucking ancestor or something like that? Or
Yeah.
was a executioner?
Yeah.
Because I remember we did that park thing we did, the Hyde Park. It was the what was that fucking name of that yearly event that we had for a while? It was someone named it was some fucking,
Merciful Summer Fate.
that's it, Merciful Summer Fate. I was thinking
Yeah,
King
yeah.
Diamond.
I went to one.
Yeah.
I went to one.
Merciful Summer Fate.
Yeah.
I think it was a third podcast that I did on the High Speed Hang-Up. So it's probably back in 2013, and me and Liam interviewed you for our podcast.
Yeah,
And that was, you were telling us about the hangman, and like, was it your ancestor who was the public executioner or something like that?
Yeah, he was the last public hangman in England. And
what was his name?
William Calcraft.
Right.
And he used to hang people with a short drop,
Right.
short ropes, and then he would like jump on their shoulders and sort of mock them in front of the crowds as they were being strangled to death, and he sort of took great pleasure in seeing them.
Sounds like a thoroughly. And what? How is he rated to you exactly? Do you know?
I can't remember. It's on my dad's mum's side of the family.
And when was he from? What kind of era was he? 1800s?
Late 1800s.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah, and And
how did you discover that?
Tried from my granddad originally.
Okay.
Yeah, he done that big family tree, and discovered that, which is pretty cool.
Did any of the other band members think about doing their genealogy and like doing songs about like bakers? Like, oh yeah, my great granddad used to bake bread. Let's have a song about baking bread. if Dave can do it, it's good enough for us.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I think you should contact them and. Yeah, who's the baker?
Yeah, baking some bread.
I never really checked my ancestry. I should do really.
Yeah, it costs fucking money. That's why you go on these genealogy sites. The first one you look up is free. Then they want to fucking fleece you for as much cash as they can.
And then it's
like
probably
anything.
incorrect.
Possibly,
They're doing it the old school way. You know, you'd have to go and visit a library or a church
parish or something.
The old-fashioned way. Yeah.
So when do you reckon you're gonna sort of start a band? Then you could totally in the fledgling stages at the moment.
I mean, besides doing drum tuition, I've not even picked up a pair of sticks since leaving Amulet in 2016 or 17 or something.
A fucking time than I fly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. And so I'll have a little bash around and that at home, and then meet up with Mika and then see what happens. But I'm going to have a jam with a few other people as well. And see how it goes. Just nice to sort of be going back into a practice room.
Yeah, having the fucking time. Time is the main thing with bands, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. Love it though.
And money, of course.
Oh yeah.
Certainly is. Everything goes well.
Cheers, man.
Good luck.
Thanks. Where's your? You ain't got.
I'm interviewing another band later on, so we're trying to stay slightly sober. I might even look up some questions to fucking.
Ask.
I blinking blanked when I was doing the other band the other day. It got to about because fucking an hour. Don't I fucking last a long time? You don't realise it. I thought I could just chat, it'd be easy. And I got to about 25 minutes, and I was suddenly like, my brain suddenly went, "That's it, no more questions." They were like, "Shut up, shut from it." And I was like. I literally had to say, I can't think of any questions.
I
felt like a twat. So hopefully it doesn't go so bad today.
Yeah. How are you doing the interview? Is it on?
I'm streaming straight onto my YouTube channel.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
You're about doing an hour though. Honestly, that's long for an interview.
Yeah, it's quite long. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys I'm doing today are quite mental, so hopefully they can riff off each other.
Yeah. Is it the whole band in one go?
Just two guys. But it can be up to. I think it can get up to 10 people on there now. But I don't think it's worth getting that many on. It's just not. It's not worth it.
Lots of people talking at once.
Yeah, because you get lag and that kind of thing, and it just fucking turns into a nightmare. So what? Have you been going to many gigs lately? You've not been getting.
I don't think anyone has.
No, not recently. But yeah, it's true. But in the interim period where you weren't actually in a band, were you doing anything else music related, or not really?
I was keeping my head pretty low, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to pubs and stuff and still meeting up with friends.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't really going to that many gigs.
What would be your ideal? I mean, you still want to pursue like the heavy metal? You don't want to go back to thrash days or nothing like that, or?
I don't think so. I just want to say what I loved a lot about playing in Amulet was like. It was really easy to play,
but fun.
But super fun.
Yeah.
And I think, and you can still add like intricate fills. That's what I love about bands like Quartz and stuff. It's super simple, but then they've got like fills that go over like so many bars. And so I think playing something simple, but you can still be imaginative whilst playing simple.
Did you have anything else in the band? Like, I mean, you had your genealogy fucking put into one of the songs, but did you make the lyrics up for that song or anything like that, or did you ever do any kind of lyrics or influencing on,
Well, for the Hangman, obviously I came up with the idea, and then I gave a book to Jamie that's been made on Calcraft, and he supposedly read it and then made the lyrics, but the lyrics are factually wrong, so I don't think he did actually read it.
So in your next band, can you do the real story? Like, this is the proper Hangman, or the Hangman Revisited, or Great Granddad, you were an arsehole.
You know, Quartz, they, I think it was the bass player in Quartz back in the late 70s was Jeff Nichols, who ended up being the keyboard player for Black Sabbath.
Yeah, he was the guitar player in Quartz.
Oh, he was the guitar player. He ended up being the keyboard player in Sabbath for like from 1980, up until he died. But
I think he wrote the riff in for Heaven and Hell as well.
He may well have done. Shining, I believe he wrote as well. So he did write quite a lot with Tony Iommi when he didn't have anyone to write with. So he doesn't really get the credit I think he deserves for Sabbath, actually.
Absolute underground legend. Way underrated.
Plus you think of all the nice little keyboard parts he did with Sabbath, like Children of the Sea, and without the keyboard parts it would sound quite dead, you know. So he was great, Jeff Nichols.
Definitely, love that band. Of course.
So where do you see yourself in like a couple of years' time? Another album, another band, another looking to record again?
Another band, another beer, another stone.
Babies? No!
Let's not go there.
If you do have kids in the future, you can teach them all how to drum, because drummers are really fucking, there's a dearth of drummers, is dearth the right word?
Yeah. I mean, I'll charge them, but
you charge the kids for learning.
Yeah. Because there's no room and you can't afford it.
You're actually quite like, because like drummers normally have like 5 bands, at least in London.
Yeah.
Just 0 bands at the moment, you're letting the side down. There's a wealth of bands out there that need your work.
Yeah.
So I am the chick of band members for sure.
There's a band I'm friends with called The Grudge. They're a great band, and they've pretty much kept the core of like guitar, 2 guitarists, bass, vocals, but they've had so many drummers.
Drummers are like real and rock and roll shit, that's right.
You know, it's like crazy amount of drummers, so
yeah. There is a certain, there are fucking not many drummers at all going around.
Yeah.
I think it's partly because of like space, you know.
Exactly.
It's one of those instruments you can't just you've got to have fucking, I don't know, parents to buy you a kit, and you've got to have room to fucking set the drum kit up and
exactly
all that kind of shit. Like you say, if you're doing the electrical thing, that's electric drum, you can do that nowadays, but that costs money.
Not
exactly.
cheap, is it?
It's not cheap. No, certainly not.
So in your days, in your days of Amulet, was it like the money pouring in? Was it like sponsorship deals and shit like that? Was it like throwing cash and beer and pros at you to every time you went to a festival? It's like, oh, welcome Amulet, queue up for your blowjob or something. Here is your gold and incense and frankincense and myrrh or whatever.
I think we know the answer here.
Yeah. Is that a big fat
no?
No.
No.
I mean, not in the UK anyway.
No.
I mean, certain places, you did get, like when we went on tour, we never lost money. We'd always broke even to continue the tour, and if we sold t-shirts, sometimes we were up. But that's why we love playing in Germany. Germany had the people there would queue up and buy the merch and
spend money
and spend the money.
I always thought it was Amulet,
and you were treated well.
In the UK, everyone wants shit for free. It seems like. Or they fucking sneak into the venue. They don't even want to fucking pay to get in. They're fucking fake a fucking hand stamp and fucking for the door.
Exactly.
It's terrible. But I always thought of Amulet as being I remember the band Groan and thinking, oh, this is actually a band that people are talking about and things like that.
Who come up with the name?
There was a little period of time where I think people sort of were speaking about Amulet.
Because I think you were different as well.
Yeah.
I think that helped too.
Yeah, but yeah. No,
who decided on the name?
I think it was Marek.
Okay.
It's a cool name actually, as well.
It always, to me, reminds me of role-playing games, like Dungeons and Dragons. Because you always have an amulet, which is like a magical amulet kind of thing.
Yeah, well, he's super into that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
It's a good name for a metal band, though.
There's another name for a talisman, isn't there? Is there not a band called Talisman? I'm sure there's a band called Talisman as well.
No, but we did have a song called that.
Talisman.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
That's basically the same thing. A talisman and an amulet are practically the same thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm glad you went for Amulet, not the original name.
HGV.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah, that's a little
funny.
on the shit side.
Yeah.
Did it stand for anything?
Well, heavy
Heavy
goods
goods
vehicle.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a different meaning.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
It just sounded funny.
Yeah. Okay, I think
That's
we've
funny.
exhausted. I think we've exhausted
Yeah, it's fucking hot in here.
subject. Yeah, it's quite
Yeah.
warm. We're gonna get naked and
It's not
jump in the shower together to cool down.
Yeah.
And hopefully, once you've got another band going and like shit, you know, to sell, you come back and talk about it again.
Definitely.
When
Yeah,
you
it's
when
been
you get,
fun.
When you get your first album out, we'll do a giveaway or something.
100%.
Right, cheers, Dave.
Cheers. See you later.
Yeah.